I want to share with you today 3 changes that you need to make in your sales process right now. I'm Mark Hunter, the Sales Hunter. And hey, let's get the show going right now.
You're listening to the Sales Hunter Podcast with Mark Hunter, where the focus is to help you as a sales leader sell with confidence and integrity. And now here's your host.
Regardless of what you say, the economy is changing out there. And what is it doing? It is slowing the decision-making process. It is making everybody a little less sure, a little less confident. And in the sales community, that means sales are getting harder and harder to come by. I want to share with you 3 changes that you need to make to your sales process right now. Number 1, you need to move from a 3.5x size pipeline to a 6x pipeline. What do I mean by this? You want to always have 3.5 times your quarterly volume in your pipeline to be able to make your quarterly number. This is assuming that your pipeline is about 3 months it takes to close a deal. So if it takes about 3 months to close a deal, you need about 3.5x that, because you close about a third to a half of your deals, and that's what you're going to need to make your number. Okay, what's happening now is that the sales process is being drawn out. It's being lengthened. Companies are being slower to make the decision. There's more factors involved. There's more things involved. So what I'm telling salespeople is you need to move from a 3.5x to a 6x pipe. This is going to be a challenge, and this is going to force you to become more organized than ever. I'm doing it in my own business. And when you go 6x, you have to be more reliant on your CRM system. You have to be more reliant on your marketing processes, and you have to be more reliant on validating the prospects and the opportunities that you have in your pipeline. And finally, you've got to do a much better job of really beginning to determine what is the amount of business I'm going to get from existing customers. In other words, business that they're just going to reorder. What's the business that they're going to give us by way of referrals? And what's the business I'm going to have to go out and get prospect? You better know those 3 numbers, because that's the only way you're going to be able to put 6x in your pipe. Second change you need to make is you need to double the number of contacts at each of your accounts that either you have or you're prospecting. This is a game changer. Here's what's happening. Again, like I said earlier, decisions are taking longer to make. More people are involved. People are less hesitant or less confident in making a move. What does this mean? There's more people involved. You've got to establish those relationships early on. This is also very difficult to do, because I said earlier, I want you to go to a 6x on your pipe, and now I got to double your contacts. Yeah, that's a lot of people. But what that means is you have to be prepared to be making more touches every day. Because otherwise, what's going to happen is if you're relying on just 1 or 2 people in an account to close a deal, during the length of time it takes to close, they could easily move on to a different job. They could move to a different role in the company. And decisions which normally were made by X type of person in this economy are now being made by Y type of person. You better be very cautious, very careful on that. Okay, the third thing that you need to do is simplify your product offering. Here's the deal. I've talked about this before. This is more important than ever. Simplify. Now, this is going to help you with your 6x and doubling your contacts. Now, it sounds a little counterintuitive, but bear with me on this. What I'm saying is this. It is so easy for us to want to go in and sell everything. We want to go in and sell everything because we want to land this deal and make it big, make it big. But here's the deal. Complicated deals are slowing down. Complicated deals are harder to close. And if you're throwing too much out at the customer at one time, a confused customer does not buy. So what happens is this. If I can simplify my product offering, and what this means is I'm going to bucketize my prospects, I'm going to bucketize my customers and say, this is the product going here, this is the product going here, and I'm keeping it very, very simple. This is going to allow me to move faster. But I have found that these 3 things are changes that you need to make in your sales process right now, because if you don't, you are going to get caught short. The 3 again. 1, 6x your pipe. If normally you had been 3.5x, you're now going to a 6x. That's going to take some time. It's going to take a couple quarters to get there. 2, double the number of contacts with each customer that you have. You normally had 2 at a customer. You now need to get to 4. And the third one, simplify your offering. And if you do that, if you do these 3 things, it's going to help you power your way through this kind of turbulent time, turbulent period that we're in. Hey, I'm Mark Hunter, the Sales Hunter. This is the Sales Hunter podcast. Privileged to bring you 2 episodes a week, one a short one like this. Second one is where we do a deep dive with a subject matter expert. My goal, help you see and achieve what you didn't think was possible. Do me a favor, leave me a review on your favorite podcast app, would you? And hey, make sure you subscribe to it and tell a friend about our show. I'm Mark Hunter, the Sales Hunter. Great selling.